Well, genealogy is the study of your family, your ancestors, who they were, where they lived, where they came from, the experiences they had. So it's much more than just a name and a place and time. It's wanting to learn more about them and possibly then learning a little bit more about yourself.
Sometime around age 50, it seems, people begin to wonder about their family history. Some younger people are involved, but generally people that are more mature, and they find they really don't have a good record of where they came from and who their ancestors were, and they begin to probe and look to find out. Why they do it, I'm not sure. It seems to be kind of an ingrained part of humanity.
I think people are drawn to genealogy probably initially out of curiosity. It also becomes a matter of detective work. So there's a little bit of that mystery solving element to genealogy as well that seems to be very satisfying to people.
If you start by yourself, you can eventually figure it out. I started without any assistance, but it took me a long time to find out all the various techniques that one can use. If you start with a genealogy society, then there are many people who are expert in one form or another with different kinds of records, and they can help you get to the end result much more quickly. They also provide a form of support. If you have a problem, there are people that are knowledgeable in one area or the other, and they are, almost all of them are willing to provide that kind of help.
I think one of the mistakes people make when they don't join a society right away is to think that a local society is only interested in local history or local resources. And what you will find, especially in Florida, is that members come from everywhere and have a great variety of experience and geographical spread, so that when you join a society, you're actually joining a support system. You'll learn about local history if that's what you'd like, but you'll also have an opportunity to learn about history that has nothing to do with the area you're in, and you'll have a lot more resources at your fingertips. Well, some of the most common resources for genealogical research, and at this point it's great that a lot of them can be found online, would be basic vital records, birth, marriage, or death records, census records, passports. You could even go into maps or deeds or newspapers. Newspapers are a great source of family stories. And things like school records, voter records, anything can become a genealogical record if it answers the question for you.
My advice to a new genealogist, a budding genealogist, would be that you can't do this in a vacuum by yourself. You either join a society or at a minimum, you go and you work with others who are looking for the same family members you are. You can start online. There is so much online now, but sooner or later, I think it would be best to try to join a group like any genealogy society in the area in which you live, so that you can get some advice. You can share the information with others, and they can share their techniques and resources with you.
One of the most memorable experiences I've had is that I have an online acquaintance from Belgium who I have never met, who at the time I first met him was a ghostwriter for a project writing a history about Camp Top Hat in Belgium, which was a World War II GI repatriation camp for soldiers coming back over after World War II. And he was researching, trying to find soldiers who had dropped their dog tags on this particular piece of property that good friends of his had found by doing metal detecting. And he sent me some names and said, can you find out anything about these people? Do they still exist? Do their families still exist? Tell their families we'll give their dog tags back. And I was actually able to find 2 or 3 of those, and making that reunion between that dog tag and the family of, in most cases, deceased veteran was very special. It was kind of like their father came back to them over several years and just told them he was there in their presence, and just seeing this one little item make this trip from Belgium back over to Florida or to Mississippi or whatever was great.
A lot of memorable experiences come to me just in teaching the genealogy classes that we do at our society on an annual basis. Working one-on-one with new beginner genealogists, mentoring them, and we sit side by side at a computer and we start looking for their families. And just the sheer excitement on their part when we find something, and we always find something, is very gratifying to me, and I enjoy the joy that they experience in finding their first piece of information that they originally knew nothing about.